When I got to Las Vegas and my club, Hyde in the Bellagio, sat in the fountains. The Bellagio is the most visited hotel in the world. It had so many people, it's ridiculous. And I learned how to be a man at the age of 31 years old. It took me that long to understand. My hair was thinning, I gotta go bald. I'm a public school kid, My mom used to clean houses, my mom used to clean houses. I spent my whole life pretending I was like an Ivy League guy or some like billionaire guy, covering up every single insecurity I had. And at 31, I changed it. And the minute I changed it, here's the irony of life. I made more money than I ever made in my whole life. I made every single contact that you could imagine. So you had a dude that wanted everything other people had, found himself. And then here's the reward that God gave me. I had players that played in a game called roulette, the one with the, you pick the number.
You're right.
My guy was the highest theoretical player in Las Vegas. Theoretical play, in case there's any gamblers out there, is the time that you spend playing and the higher the hand. So the higher the hand and the more you play, the more valuable you are to a Las Vegas casino. Because imagine, you're there longer and you're going to lose more eventually.
That's right.
My dude would play $330,000 a spin. Gale, a spin, $330,000. And I was in front of this world. And it was everything I could imagine for 4 years. And I go, this is it. I've done it. And I made a goal at the beginning when nobody knew who I was. I go, I'm going to work every single day. I put on a suit and tie. And it was a nightclub that nighttime, but during the day it was a lounge. And I worked every single day. And positive momentum took me to a year and a half. I couldn't stop. So my goal was to work every day. Positive momentum took me to a year and a half. I applied all the old school principles that my dad taught me, the work ethic, the being a man, the being a gentleman. Guests would come see me. I would walk them out. I would table touch everything. I pretended the place was mine, but minus the ego. I learned every weakness that I had, and I didn't apply it to that club. All I applied was promoting other people, helping, not thinking I was the best, keeping myself humble, which was it still is very difficult for me to stay humble, because when you work so hard at what you do, you want people to see that. And it's hard at the beginning, but I've had that under control to understand that. So I did that for 4 years, went incredibly well.
Right.
In the fourth year, something started talking to me, and I go, something's wrong. I go, the legend can't die in a nightclub here in Las Vegas. Something has to happen. And then, ironically, the love of my life, who we went to high school together, but I saw her one time, but I didn't have a car. I didn't have any game. I go, there's no way this girl's ever going to pay attention to me. But she smiled at me, and Gale, I think I could have got her, but I didn't have any game, so I let it go. She reaches out to me to do her best friend's bachelorette party in Las Vegas. And I go, oh, no, now she's going to be done. And I went after her with everything I had, and I go, I'm going to marry this woman, and this is it. And so fortunate to get married at 37 because I was a man. I understand the responsibilities from it. I understand the platform that I was creating on how I can be an example. Only those who need it. Because there's some people right now might be listening to this and go, I could care less about this guy's story. That's awesome. Because my goal is to help those who need it.
That's exactly right. That's what this podcast is all about.
That's all it is. Because if you have trouble with the things I'm talking about, you feel you have greatness.
Right.
But you got insecurities because you're not doing it. And you're peacocking here when you just be humble and all these things. And you're thinking every day. I used to obsess every day. How can I make it? What am I going to do? Like literally hours and hours and hours. And I forgot that it was in the giving.
That's right.
That's it. That's all I had. All I had to do was give, and everything was going to come. So I go, all right, now I'm going to come to Miami. First of all, which was horrible to me because Miami's where I got abused, where I was a nobody in Miami. I am a star in Las Vegas.
When did you come back to Miami?
I came back to Miami, I think 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
I go, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So my good friend, Jim Murin, who's the president and CEO of MGM Resorts, relocated me here to Miami. And I represented the casino for a little bit. But that casino business, to me, you can't have a family in that. I felt, and an early marriage. I didn't think that was going to be successful.
Right.
So you know what? I'm going to give baseball lessons. And I remember I sat in the backyard of my dad. I go, listen, this is what I'm going to do. And my dad, and Las Vegas for me was huge because it was the first time my dad ever looked like he was proud of me, because I had become so successful that, and I hadn't used any of my perks. So all I did was work.
Right.
So if you were to come see me and you're like, oh, wait a minute, you want the O show? I could literally walk you to the O show for free. You make zero line, put you in the front. Here's your popcorn. Here's everything. Here's your security guard. Have a great time with your wife. You sit there. Then you come to my nightclub. You're not going to make the line. I'll give you a free bottle on me. It's like I had power to do everything. I had the best chefs in the world are my friends. Vegas is everything. So I just would use it on my parents when they would come. So my dad was in heaven. Oh, you want to go see Billy Joel? Here you go, backstage. You can't imagine. So when I told him I was going to come back to Miami, he goes, you crazy? Because you're going to come to Miami and do what? I go, listen, I'm going to come to Miami and I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to teach kids in baseball.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate the parents. Because I started seeing all the mistakes that were done to me.
That's right.
I started seeing all the mistakes that were happening. And the place that I started with, and only God knows why he does what he does, with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds. Really young, which is an awesome age in baseball because everybody goes to those games. Mom, dad, grandparents, these kids are so cute and they look so cute in the uniform.
That's right.
But baseball is such a hard sport only because it's the closest game to life. You're destined to fail. And at a real early age, it shows you whether you're good enough or not, because basketball, once the ball goes up in the air, all the positions look the same as long as you're on the floor. Soccer, the same thing. Football, the same thing. Baseball puts you in the outfield. So you pick up pretty early, I'm not that good. I want to be in the infield. So where I come in is I became the guy that said, I'm not going to worry about money. One of the biggest problems I see in Miami before I left, then when I left, I think I saw it everywhere. But in Miami, everything was business first. How can I make money? How can I make money? Oh, I got this. I have this baseball program. I'm going to make money. I'm going to do this. I'm going to find extra ways to make money.
Right.
I go, you know what? How am I going to help? How am I going to help? So I started for free sometimes, helping people out, and then helping the parents and teaching the parents. Nothing that happens on this field matters other than your son's effort and attitude. Because where I came in with the super privileged kids who are the toughest ones,
right,
who are the ones that I feel sorry the most for.
That's right.
Because those guys are like cage animals. They don't know what the real world looks like.
Entitled, super spoiled, and it's not their fault. Right.
Because you see this beautiful studio we have here.
Yes.
If you teach your son that, listen, you see this microphone here, this is a Shure microphone. This is a $500 microphone, okay? Let me show you what a $500 microphone is worth so you could earn it. So you don't sit here and just go, hey, because
no doubt about it.
Nobody gets to sit in this kind of setting. I'm telling you, because I did research on what this apparatus cost before I started. This is a huge thing. But what happened? We're giving kids LeBron shoes, Jordans, this and that, like if it's like
automatic.
Like
it's
pizza.
A norm, no doubt about it.
Oh, no, we're going to give you 5 shoes for different outfits, and it's not their fault when they don't know how to deal with that.
No doubt about it. Let me drop this, Coach HP. You listen to the Game of Life podcast, and I knew this would happen, and this is what I love. Well, I knew when Coach HP sat down and we hit the go button, he would go. And so, interestingly, it is so good and refreshing to hear what I seek to emit coming from the other side of the table today, because he's dropping knowledge. There's somebody listening, 305-644-0066, who may be interested in saying, I want to step up to the plate, literally, and mentor a child. Big Brothers, Big Sisters exists to help these kids reach their fullest potential. In the game of life, everybody makes a team, but how you play is up to you. If you have been listening to Coach HP talk about his personal journey, talk about his challenges, his mistakes, openly and honestly, don't live a lie. Be real. Step on the field and know that there's mentors, a trusted friend and counsel, a coach that can help you get along the way. Coach HP, we got time for one more question. We're going to partner. We're going to do something. And I want to just answer your earlier question that you said, you didn't know what we did here at Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We got about 2,100 kids in Miami-Dade County alone that are matched 1-to-1. Little boys with men, little girls with women, and we call that a match, mentoring. Whether it's in the school, whether it's in a corporate site, had a little boy that went into one of our corporate buildings here in town, went to the 7th floor, executive conference room. Plenty of seats around the conference table. He sat in the corner, the overflow seating on the perimeter. I said, what's going on? Why are you sitting over there? He said, the chair's too nice. We talk about this nice dude. He said, the chair's too nice. Where did I put him? Put him at the head of the table.
That's a winner.
I said, put him at the head of the table.
We would have named the room after him.
No
so
doubt.
Nobody would
put him at the head of the table and said, check this out. You belong. Don't ever say to yourself, you don't belong.
That's
but now,
beautiful.
in order to get here, as I'm putting you here, but in order to stay here, in order to get here, you got to put in the work. So that's our message today. Winning in the game of life. I name every podcast. I just named it on the air live. Winning in the game of life.
That's perfect.
Because with Coach HP, with what you're doing every day, what we're doing in the mentoring space, we got a big fitness program. And not only that, just getting folks to sign up to be volunteers, getting kids on the field. Brother, let's do it.
1,000%. Before we get off, because I could talk to you all day. So
I got a feeling I believe you on that too, brother.
Coach HP became about through social.
Yes.
It became real popular. So as people started reaching out to me with questions, because I turned the video camera after a year, I would just use it to show me training a kid. I started talking my truth about what I started seeing. That's it. My truth. My insecurities, my problems, I turned it around on social. When that happened, people started to reach out to me all over the country. Listen, Coach, I have this problem. Coach, thank you so much. This and this and that. So now today, I travel the country showcasing, talking about these things. Just got back from Dallas last month, and the national champs, Oregon State, reached out to me, and I spoke to their team. That's all I do now.
Okay.
And I get about 100 to 500, sometimes 1,000 DMs a week of people reaching out to me. And what I would do was, which nobody does, and I'll tell you something that happened 2 days ago, which is the first time it's ever happened to me. You reach out to me, hey, I'm Gale from Ohio. I have this problem with my son. Coach, what do you think? I go, I got you. But I wouldn't call you. No, I do a whole video for you. Do a post it on social so you can see it.
Nice.
Because not only am I going to help Gale, I want to help the other Gales.
Right.
So it's so funny. 2 days ago, it was the first time it's ever happened to me. I'm actually signing a new contract that I signed with a company, because I tell people like this. In my space, in the influencer space, everybody's looking to, I'm a coach, I'm this. The first thing they want to do is online courses. Just charge their audience. I want to do online courses.
Right.
Then they sell their T-shirt, they sell all these things. And I go, hold off on doing that. Because it's about building an audience. I'm telling you, if you wait and you build an audience, then a New Balance will come and we'll do something big with you, instead of No Balance comes and you're like, oh, I got No Balance, and they give you 2 cups of ice, and
There
you're
you
like,
go.
and they see that. But they don't listen to me because nobody wants to work. This is a privilege. For me to sit here is a super privilege in this kind of setting.
It's a privilege to have you here.
Thank you, man. To have a guy like him filming me, this kind of thing, it's a super privilege. But nobody wants to go through the process.
That's
so,
right.
So let me get to how I became Coach HP. So
Come on.
I started working every single day, giving lessons outside in the heat as a nomad. Like literally, I would in Spanish it's called a guajiro, which is like a camp, a farmer. I would find a field, pull up my balls there, and train kids out of nowhere. Boom, boom, boom. And I started doing that. The winning is in the movement, in the energy of moving. Nature rewards movement. It penalizes you by all means when you stay stagnant and you stay in your head.
Yes, sir.
It destroys you. So I go, you know what? I got to keep going. And I did it for a year and a half. I worked every single day. My poor wife would sit there and wait for me, work Saturdays, work Sundays. I would stack lessons up like crazy, back to back to back to back. Did that consistently. One of my good friends reaches out to me. He does an after-school baseball program, and he goes to me, listen, I think it'd be a good move for you. And what I was making an hourly already, training one kid, I think was like, it was 10 sessions, and I wasn't even making a third of that for 10 weeks. But I go, I'm new here. The movement. And I was at a private school. So I go, you know what? This could be a good opportunity for me. So I started there. And I'm the guy's side guy. And I'm this Coach HP already. But I understand my position, which we got to teach kids that. Kids want to be Gale already. And they don't understand the process of being this. They don't understand that this is the steps, because the parents aren't doing that. They're not teaching that.
That's right.
Or the mentors aren't talking about that.
That's right.
So I came in and I go, I was this guy's right-hand man. I'm picking up the balls. I'm a baseball guy, but I let him run his show. I'm his right hand. I'm picking up the balls. I'm doing all the assistant work. What happens? The third day into it, a guy sees me and goes, I like that guy. Goes to my buddy. He goes, what's his name? Oh, it's Coach HP, great dude. He's like, I want to talk to him. I talked to him. I went to his office and we talked. I didn't know the dude was like my big brother, a guy named Pepe Gomez. Pepe Gomez just happens to be A-Rod's best friend. And we sat there and the guy goes, listen, man, I love what you're doing. I love what you're about. See the Boys and Girls Club there of Kendall? That's your new home. Alex had just refurbished that after he hit some home run. They had the All-Star thing there.
Right.
So I went from not having anything to full access to this beautiful place there whenever I wanted. Nobody can kick me out, nobody anything. That story is what I want to teach kids to understand, that the winning is in the patience. It's only taken me, you've heard everywhere I've been, it's only taken me 40 years to get to where I got right now. So as people start reaching out to me now with this platform that I had, as I'm signing my second influencer deal there at my wife's place, I get a DM from a dude, never spoken to him in his life, and he goes, Coach, I'm in a tight situation here. I love what you're doing. Congratulations on everything that's going on with you, but I really need to talk to you. Something happened with my son. He's 11 years old, and I haven't spoken to anybody. I don't know what to do. So I'm like, all right. I go. Let's meet up. So I meet up with this guy, and I go, okay, what's going on? He's like, Coach, this has me floored.
Right.
My son's 11 years old, and through his mom came. She was looking through his computer, and he Googled how to commit suicide. Mm. And it's the first time it's ever happened to me. And originally I go, man, what gift do I have? And I get emotional because it's like, what gift do I have that some guy who's never met me before can reach out to 1 million people, but he chooses to pick a kid from public school from Miami that never had anything, who puts it all on the line every single day. And he came and he chose to speak to me. And this dude drove like an hour to come see me to talk to me about an issue like this. And the first thing I told him was, listen, I don't know anything about suicide. So I'm not a professional on how to deal with that. So I gave him we talked about the hotline. We talked about certain things to do with that.
Right.
But this is what I know about life. If we don't prepare kids on how to deal with bullies,
yes,
because the kid had some bullying issue at school, if we don't prepare kids on how to deal with adversity, they're not going to know how to deal with it.
That's right.
So they're going to go way to the outer space on how to deal with stuff. They don't understand that a bad day is just a bad day.
That's all it is.
They don't understand that a bad comment is just a bad comment. They don't understand that, you know what? Gale wasn't really nice to me when I came on the pod. Hey, Gale, man, did I do something wrong?
Right.
Can we talk this out? Can we figure this out?
Resolution.
You know? And then he told, as he tried to give advice, the guy's my age, and he goes, look, you go up to the kid and you punch him in the throat. I go, that's great because you're a tough guy and that probably worked for you. What if he's like me? I've never thrown one punch in my whole life. I'm an anti-violence guy because my dad was violent with me.
Right.
So when your dad's violent with you, you either accept violence and become a violent guy yourself, or you run away from it totally.
The victim becomes a subject, no doubt.
So I'm like the most anti-violent guy. I don't even joke with people.
You've had enough for life.
I'm done with that. Like I don't even mess around. Never. I'm like very like weary of those situations. And I go, you're setting your son up to be in a bad spot because okay, what if he punches him in the throat and it's not a good punch, and this dude just beats the crap out of him in front of everybody there?
That's right.
So I go, listen, this is what I would do. Because I've known situations of friends of mine that their parents got involved and they didn't let the kid resolve it.
It becomes a parent's
and
issue.
And those kids have issues in life because they think somebody's going to step in when the problems come.
That's exactly right.
So now at some point I understand you have to get adults involved.
Right.
So this is what I told the guy to do. And I don't know if it was right or wrong, but the instinct kicks in. I go, listen, you tell your son I want to go talk to him, that guy, and go, listen, I don't like what you're doing to me. I'm here to go to school, man. I think you're a great dude. I have nothing against you. This is what I want. Because I'm taking this approach doesn't mean I'm not a man. It just means, listen, I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a fighter, and I don't even pretend to be. I came here to go to school and to do something. If you don't stop, right, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go tell the teacher. I'm going to tell her right in front of your face that you're doing this. If she doesn't listen, I'm going to go to the principal. If the principal doesn't listen, I'm going to call a police officer. But this is going to stop. I don't care what, this is going to stop. So either we become friends and we figure this out, or we're going to get in trouble, me and you together, on a non-violent way. But we don't talk about that stuff. We do not prepare kids on how to deal with failure. Why is the first thing when we get on a plane, what do? We go over the emergency procedures.
What to do in case of an
In case of emergency. Now you're gonna raise Gale Jr., G2, and not talk to him about the failures of life. So what's gonna happen? When he's in a tough situation with his new girlfriend that he doesn't know what to do, he's not gonna know what to do.
That's right.
So he's gonna Google it from somebody else versus, hey, look, listen, and I understand a lot of kids don't listen to their dads. That's why I'm successful at what I do, because it's a different voice. But what if you provide a positive message? Not, because I went through this and I want, of course, every parent wants what's best for their kid.
That's right.
But if you tell them, listen, this is what I would do, but I support you. Now, I don't mean support you financially, because that's a crutch at itself.
No doubt about it. You got to work, earn it.
You want to have your own studio? Perfect. Oh, you want to drop out of school? That is all. Okay, go for it. But you're not going to live in my house.
That's it.
Look, you heard Coach HP. He slept in a car. Go sleep in a car. It's the best thing I could have done. I got away from my dad. Nobody bothered. So before we leave, I'm about positivity, but I'm about educating everybody that I come in contact with on any level, that the winning is in the adversity.
Yes, sir.
The winning is in being a man.
Yes, sir.
The winning is when, especially now with text culture, educating kids. Listen, when I get out of this podcast, about 2 hours from now, I'm going to send you, if I get your number of text.
You got it.
If I don't, I'm going to send you an email. Gale, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you. I'm here for you. Nobody does that. And why I get emotional about that is because everybody is so deep in themselves and they're losing on a daily basis because of that. And they're getting in these pitfalls of just misery and anxiety and depression because they're so busy trying to bury every single person around them.
Coach HP, let me tell you something, brother. This was special for me today. Your passion, your energy, as we talk about, why this podcast exists, you're going to be back. And for everybody listening today, this was as real as it gets. I knew when I heard about you.
Oh, yeah?
I did some research as well. And I'm thinking, why is everybody following this guy? Because, again, that's inquisitive.
Right.
I understand why. You started the show by giving me some compliments, and certainly I appreciate that. But let me tell you something. The reason I get up every day is to ensure that these kids have an opportunity for a better life. It gets to me, too. So I close with this. Winning is a mentality. In order to, if you can't handle adversity, you certainly won't be able to handle prosperity. Behavior is a function of the person in the situation. You are who you are today because of what you've gone through. You've heard what Coach HP has endured, but how he's given back. So if you're out there today, I close with this. Everybody makes a team in a game of life. How you play is up to you. Your parents are who they are, but you don't have to be who your parents are. Step up to the plate. Do something to help a child today. Coach HP, thanks for being on the show, brother. It will not be your last time. I assure you of that.
Thank you so much, man, being so nice to us. At the end of the day, remember, you got to go hard and do your thing, not somebody else's thing.
Come on.
Your thing. And then eventually by doing your thing, other people that are doing their thing, they connect. And that's the winning formula. And I'm convinced of that. I can't thank you so much. I'm here for you. Like I said at the beginning, man, whatever you need from me, I got you.
Big brothers, big sisters, Coach HP winning in the game of life. That's a wrap. Hey, this is Gale Nelson. This is the Game of Life.